Welcome back! This is the second video of a series of 5 videos where I share with you my escapades in the years of 2014, 15 and 16. In this video, I'm gonna talk about the 3 remaining rallies in the 2014 Drive DMACK Fiesta Trophy: Finland, Deutschland and Spain. So Finland, Rally Finland. For me, the best event in the world. Not even the best rally, just the best event in the world. The best place to be in the world when there's a rally around. I mean, I love this place. This is the only place where I've ever gone spectating more than once. Taken my friends there, I've taken a train there, like I just love that place. And oh my god, was I excited about finally doing a rally there. And not just doing a rally, but doing a rally with one of the best teams in the world as a part of the most fancy trophy of that year. Yeah, little did I know. Remember the freak co-driver injury, thank god not lasting, that happened to my co-driver at Poland and we couldn't continue? Well, believe it or not, something very similar happened before the start of Rally Finland, so we could not even start it. So you just watch what I said right after the rally, because there's nothing else I can add to that.
This stretch of bad luck is truly unbelievable. Not only we were not able to continue Rally Poland, we had to withdraw very early due to co-driver injury. Here in Finland, after the first pass of the test stage, Darren, my co-driver's back, the muscle got pinched with a nerve, something like this. There won't be any long-lasting damage, but we had to pretty much not start the rally. I'm honestly lost for words. I don't know how to explain it. This is the best rally in the world. This is the rally I came spectating twice. This is the spiritual home of rallying, and I had to not even start it. I mean, fair play to Darren. We tried to drag ourselves to the start line so that we can restart next day if he felt better, but he was in way too much pain. We were in the hospital for a while, and I mean, Darren is a great co-driver. He's definitely fit. He races motorcycle.
This is how good.
He co-drives an ex-Peter Solberg's World Rally car. But I just don't understand. And the jump we took was, very average at best. I'd call it a small jump. And still, just a bizarre bad luck with 2 different people. I hope we'll rebound, but it's very bad.
It still hurts to even remember those events and how it all came down. It just sucks beyond belief. But what I wanted to tell you guys now is that that's the series of events which started my whole financial problems, because I did have sponsorship secured for most of the season there, big thanks to Kenja Motorsports and everything that family arranged for me, but I still was missing about a last fifth. And obviously the idea was to impress with certain results, because people understood that I'm on my back foot because of no experience in front-wheel drive car, no experience in the World Championship and all these kind of things. But when I kept breaking co-driver after co-driver, people were very, I guess, sympathetic with me, but the sympathy can only take you so far, especially when a rally costs tens of thousands of dollars to even think about. So at the end of the year, I ended up with a major debt because I wasn't able to secure that funding for the last fifth of the budget, and that pretty much took me out of rallying for the next 2 years, because in order to get big bucks, you need to be doing good, winning things, being on the podium at the very least, and I couldn't even afford to start the next rally, couldn't afford to put the program together, and I just had to pretty much pause it, put my rally career on hold and try to do something else. And that's what my following video is going to talk about. But I was never even close to giving up. I tried everything I could. I just physically was not able to make it happen. I stayed in Europe for as long as I could, trying to put some deals together, trying to even run some national championships in Europe, everything, including even Bulgaria, because that's where my base was, but I was just not able to make it happen. And it's a good example of when anybody else, maybe not anybody else, but most other people would have given up, and that would have been it, an office job and rallying as a not quite the dream that you fully achieved, but not even close to giving up. And here I am rallying again. So now to WRC Rally Deutschland. It is mega technical, like there's nothing else. The vineyard stages are fucking amazingly technical. Sebastian Loeb, the greatest driver of all times, was a true master of that rally. He's won it, I think, more times than the event was ran. And I was able to master that magnificent event. Guess what? My best pace all year in the WRC compared to the other drivers was in Rally Deutschland on wet tarmac. And I never rallied before on wet tarmac. So I'm an expert of no grip. But of course I had to start with again changing my co-driver. So we had co-driver number 73 in Rally Germany. I remember feeling good before the rally, and even the shakedown runs felt fun and easy and just flowing and good. Check it out.
We're rallying on tarmac. We did the first 2 passes of shakedown. Nobody is hurt, nobody is injured, the car is in one place. He's laughing, but jokes aside, yeah, it's quite nice. It's very different on tarmac. It feels very alien, but it's good fun, and it just sticks to the road like there's no tomorrow. So gonna go again.
So despite of me feeling great, guess what? Day 1 of Rally Germany brought me to the reality of shitty luck of that season. Guess what? The car simply died on us on the transit after the first loop.
So maybe this is kind of dead. So we're trying to see how much we can go down the hill with no ignition, no power steering, no nothing. Check this out. Wait, we're gonna get going quicker. Don't brake, flat. Downhill. What's the quietest R2 we've ever seen? Electric power, baby. Oh, there's a bend here. Yeah. I don't think we took it as hard on the stage.
Day 2 though was better. Have a look.
So we've done the second pass of the famous Stein and Vine in the wet, first time on wet setup, wet tires. Went quite good, very happy with the time. But I forgot that in the rain you gotta brake off the line because the wet line is different than the dry line. But the good news is that that's another couple of seconds right there. We had an awesome day on tarmac. First time ever I drove on slippery tarmac, and that was very good. We were setting very good times for myself on the in-town stages. And despite the changing conditions, dry tire, wet tire, just all this stuff, different clicks, suspension for every stage, it worked. Maybe a couple of just a bit sideways moments, but no, nothing touched. The car is not a ding on it. Perfect. Now the Panzerplatte, the famous military ground stage, that's very difficult to get the rhythm of. We're slower there relative to the other boys, but glad we made it through. Not a ding on the car. We're at it first thing tomorrow morning.
Day 3 though, back to shit luck. Normal corner, normal line, busted a drive shaft, the car wouldn't go. I guess this one is a bit of a mix between a bad luck and also not knowing quite what that car can take. Because there were other drivers, fast drivers, who took exactly my line and they were okay, but they were in a fancier car. So experience and bad luck, you see for yourself.
In, no, he does left. Oh shit. What's that? She driving? No. No drive. Oh, broken a drive shaft.
Oh, are you serious?
Broken a drive shaft. No drive. No. Let's get it pushed up there. Unbelievable.
So here we are at the not so lucky end of Rally Germany. First stage on Sunday. There was a nice hairpin and my note said big pin to sign, so I did cut it just like the note said, and there was a curb which is about this tall. And similar to what happened in Portugal, I wasn't too sideways through it, but the front left wheel was loaded. We hit that curb slightly and the suspension arm is broken and no drive shaft's out, so could not continue. Too bad we missed the remaining 3 stages today. But hey, Jari Mari was leading today, he went off, had no reason for it. And then Meek was leading then and in a fight but still went off, so it's very tricky, and I guess it's a good thing that it's not the tricky part that caught us out, but the just a really unchecked note and not knowing what the car can take. I'll learn. It was nice while it lasted, and that's it for now. Like I said, it sucks not to finish the rally. Actually, another car did the same thing and also a damaged front suspension, the R2 car, but then our TMACK took the same line on the second pass and was fine. So that means I need an R5 car, obviously. Also, the amazing bit of weirdness is that all season in Rally America my number was 111. In Finland my starting number was 111, and here my number was 111. Now guess what? The radio point number where this happened and we DNF'd, 111. So you tell me.
So really 3 points to sum up Rally Deutschland. 1, the pace was real good. 2, and that's the most important one, I realized that I love rallying on tarmac. Thanks to Kenja Motorsports, I've done some racing on tarmac before and in a variety of different cars, but couldn't say I loved it. I surely respect people who race, but it's definitely not challenging enough, and I don't want to sound like I'm better than that. It's just not enough elements, not enough variety, not enough corners, and so racing is okay. I'll do it if somebody paying for it, but I won't, try too hard to get into that. However, rallying on tarmac, oh my God, I can tell you this, in North America we're very, very unlucky that there are no proper tarmac rallies, with an exception of 1 or 2 small things. And there's Targa, Newfoundland too, but it's not quite a rally, it's still a TSD, time speed distance event, just on closed roads. But rallying on tarmac in a proper car, on proper stages, it's amazing, love it. And the third point to take out from Germany was that finally, going into the next round, which was the final round of the championship rally of Spain, I had a co-driver. Wow. Next up, WRC Rally Spain. The closest thing to a road course that rallying has, so they say. But it's also a rally of 2 different events. The first day is on awesome gravel stages, which I was really looking forward to because they're very challenging and fun, and I haven't driven on gravel that year since all the way Rally Portugal in the beginning of the season. And then day 2 and day 3, they're on tarmac roads, and like I said earlier, on the roads that are very similar to road course, so different kind of challenge from Germany altogether.
Alright, so we did the first 2 runs of shakedown. It's always such a pleasure to get in the car and drive after all the endless preparation and the recce. It's quite good. The shakedown here is interesting. Gravel setup, gravel tires, but first bit of the stage is gravel, and then you get some tarmac. See, we don't want to wear out the gravel tires, but we want to have as much fun as possible on the gravel section, so we just went easy on tarmac with hazards and went real hard on gravel. Awesome, good fun.
Like I said, I was super excited to get going on those gravel stages, and we had a blast, especially on the second loop. And not only with a blast, we learned a lot, learned how to handle that car and all that kind of crazy stuff. Check it out. Okay, we just finished the second pass through the 37K stage. And we had major alignment issues, and then tires, and then more alignment because I had a little bit of a moment. It's one of the hardest one I've driven. That was some job to keep it on the straight line. Forget on the road, like just wouldn't go on the straight line. Apparently we still had a pretty good time, much better than earlier. So very happy, but hell, some job. 36K on gravel, and there's that extra slow tarmac section in the middle where some people went off and we just couldn't keep the tires alive. So very happy to be here. They done.
Wow, you are some fucking boy. What? How the did you hang on to half of those? I mean, I wasn't even looking. I just felt my ass. Going from side to side. Oh my God, what a rally!
I was being so happy about the pace and the aggressivity and all the stuff on that last loop. But on the about last 7-10K of the last stage, I just couldn't keep the car straight. I thought it's because we've nicked a rock or something and alignment is out of whack. But then I was sitting there behind the car, just trying to catch my breath, on the ground, and I saw that the right rear has a flat. So we drove all that, did that quite awesome stage time on a puncture for the last 7 to 10k. That's why I couldn't keep the thing straight. Very happy, what a good second loop. Just really a lot of fun and tons of pleasure to drive, to be here and do all this stuff.
Just one more point to add and to clarify for those of you who are trying to learn from this. In an all-wheel drive car, when you have a puncture, you feel it a lot. Obviously, you always feel a puncture more on the front, but even on the back in an all-wheel drive heavier car like a Subaru, you feel it a lot and you always know 100% it's a puncture. In a small, light Ford Fiesta, when you have a puncture at the back, apparently the car won't drive straight, but apparently it doesn't really feel like a puncture. It feels like something is knocked out of alignment, and that's why I thought what I thought. But that was a good learning experience in terms of that. Like, you can actually go quite far in a rear puncture in a front-wheel drive car and without major problem. So there you go. So the next 2 days on tarmac and Rally Spain didn't go as well. And here are the two problems. Obviously, to drive fast on tarmac, you need to be very smooth. But apparently DMACK was in development process of their tire, so their tires on that surface, on that day, in that temperature, didn't quite work that way. It's only towards the end of the rally I realized that you actually have to be stupid sideways and very aggressive with the car to make it go fast. And I didn't have enough experience with front-wheel drive to even know how to really set it sideways. Like, it was quite a challenge, and I couldn't get it to work. I was driving perfect notes, smooth lines, like good, proper lines, but the times weren't there, especially now that I had Rally Germany to compare with. So it was a pure tire to tarmac relationship. And again, you can learn from this by thinking sometimes it should be you. Like, I mean, you're doing something, it's not working, times are not there, and often you'd blame yourself and hence start overdriving and likely go off or do something wrong. But no, it was just a pure technology thing, and guess what? That's you gotta learn to drive with it and learn to how to live with it. But of course, nearing the end of third day of Rally Spain, my bad luck had to strike again. I had a brake failure. You know, since I started rallying, I thought that one of these days I'm gonna have a proper brake failure, like, you know, high speed, touch the brake, nothing happens, and I'm like, good job, rallying has big roll cages. And that happened. I knew I had to get this one out of the way. It was a nice long stage. It was, you know, warm and tough on the brakes. We're braking obviously a lot. It's on tarmac. It's an R2 car. And one of these straights, touched the brake. It was like a straight about 120 meters before pretty much a square left, so a 90-degree left-hander, over a bridge. So I touched the brake, nothing happens. And then the instincts kick in, self-preservation. So I turned the car early to scrub off the speed on the left side of that bridge, starting to, you know, hit that. Obviously, it bounces off, hits the other side, and we stopped inches away from falling off a bridge. It's like a 2-story building at least. And the bricks that were making the sides of the bridge, they were knocked out of place. Some fell down, some were still on the bridge, but, you know, but already not glued or whatever you call it, not really attached to the surface, just sitting there. So that's how close it was to going off a bit of a cliff. Now, M-Sport people did tell me that the car was pretty badly banged up after this, because a lot of small damage, like not a major off, but small damage when I was trying to scrub the speed off, hitting different things. But we were okay. It was the end of the rally. Too bad we couldn't again finish it, but definitely not a driver's fault. I mean, brake failure, and they took the brake line to the lab after, and yeah, just too much heat. The component failed. The brake line they've been using on all these cars all this time, of course, it had to fail on me. The people here in the studio just told me that that's scary, and I wanted to comment on that. In racing, you cannot allow a thought of a potential accident due to mechanical problem ever bother you. Yeah, on the roads we have speed limits for that. But in racing, you just go for it. Yeah, it's scary, but that's why you have the belts, the Hans device, and all these kind of toys, but you just can't think about it. Otherwise, you'll never be quick. So this kind of sums up the two videos which are covering my season in the Drive DMACK Fiesta Trophy. Sums up one season of terrible bad luck, not only with all these multiple co-driver problems and that were out of their or my control, and weird car problems and everything else that went wrong. Yeah, but it was a great learning experience. It surely was worth it, even though it put me out of rallying for the next 2 years. Financially, it was worth it because having done those rallies, having seen those roads, having seen how hard those drivers go, but at the same time having seen that they're very much beatable. I haven't met a guy who works as hard as me still. I'm still the most hardworking driver. I mean, other guys do more overall, I guess, because they have that budget. They can do it all the time. But when I have one season to go for it, I did find that I put in more work for preparation for every rally. So learned a lot, but was some year. Needless to say that all I care for is going back. I mean, World Championship is amazing, and I have been doing and I will keep doing everything to get back. Of course, I'll be happy to do some rallies in Canada, and we'll get back to that again. But World Championship or top level, like maybe European Championship rallies leading up to the World Championship, that's where it is in terms of proper competition. You can have fun in North America and in some other countries' national events, but man, there it's a whole different planet, let me tell you. Remember when I started the first video of these two, I said that the prize for the Drive DMACK Fiesta Trophy was the biggest prize in rallying. Well, I would like to end this video by showing you a bit of an emotion, a bit of how it actually felt for my friend Sander Parn to win this prize, and what he told me at the end of the last round in Spain when he pretty much just found out that he was the champion.
Definitely, it feels amazing. It's a really great feeling, and it's a dream come true. I think it's I think the dream of every young rally driver to win this prize, this championship. What has so amazing prize, as I now have. So I just can't describe what I feel right now. I think tomorrow I will understand better.
And I think it's great that guys like you will get a chance at the next level. So congrats.
Thank you very much, my friend.
Because of where the bad luck of the season put me that year, it was all too easy to give up. But I'm here to tell you, never give up on your dream. It's all too easy to go and get an office job. Don't give up. And what's happening right now, me having enough sponsors and me having Race Lab and coming back to Canadian rallying for now, and then with already plans for further events in WRC, best proof you can have. Just don't give up. It'll come back to you. You'll try things, they might fail, then you'll try again and that'll work out. And we're gonna talk about this in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate all the support you guys are giving me, all the comments, all the feedback. Even when I'm releasing these, I'm looking for co-driver video, there's so many people sharing them. They get like thousands and thousands of views just for a regular co-driver search video. Really appreciate your support. Stay tuned. Nailed it. Yeah? Good. Da, 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 do, was bad.